Eyring, he's been accused of many things. Some people say that he fakes his material, that he never was broke. Some people say that he's just been sandbagging, pretending to be worse at poker than he is to get into games. And some people just think that he's awful. But how good is he really? Now, I've done an episode on Corey, but this was a long time ago, and I actually know Corey pretty well. And I will tell you this, he is exactly what you see. He is one of the most, or at least he has been, one of the most discombobulated and disorganized and degenerate, that was perfect alliteration, people that I've ever come across.
I'm done paying fees.
And he's incredible. He's so good at content. He just has a knack for the art. And what I've noticed recently, he's actually started to take poker seriously. Editor, put in the comments here, you guys think that's definitely not true. Definitely not the case. So, I mean, I haven't watched too much of his content, but just from what I have seen, it does look a lot more legit. But now we're going to watch some long form, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And how good is he really? And is he for real? Let's look at it. By the way, I got bullied into getting a good webcam, and I actually even got like a tough love message from a really good content creator. Shout out to Branson Poker, where he was like, yo, your content's so good. I'm amazed that you get as many views as you do, given that the quality of the visuals is so bad. So I got a good webcam. Look at me in 4K. I'll work on the background. I've put a Buddha statue there, so you know I'm a spiritual guy. That's how that works. It was just like some random kitchenware before, so I mean, what are you gonna do? Burn some incense. So this is Corey Eyring's biggest win of his life, and you're gonna be watching me watch this for the first time, and let's see how it goes.
I'm calling ambulance for me. This is 30 grand. What's up? 2026 is upon us.
I'm actually planning on making my own vlogs. Shout out to Abby. I should do an episode on Abby. What do you guys think about that? She's very, very funny. That's all I can tell from these things. Oh, I haven't done Frankie either. I haven't seen a single hand of Frankie apart from on Corey's videos as well. I gotta tell you, this funniest thing in my life happened to me 2 days ago. I booked a massage because my body was aching. Very long story short, literally the funniest and craziest thing that's happened in a long time. I didn't realize until halfway through that it was like a happy ending kind of place. And I'm You don't expect to get it in the city that I'm in. If you want to hear the full story, it is a crazy full story, but we're here to play poker. Let me know if you want to hear that. I still am dying laughing every day thinking about it. You can place your bets on whether you think I got the happy ending. All right, so we open 7-4 suited out of position because Corey is too rich to care anymore. Don't do this.
5 ways to a flop where I flop an open-ended straight draw. I think bluffing 5 ways on this texture is a catastrophe, so
That's not too bad. You could bet tiny in this one. The problem is check calling's a bit more of a catastrophe. I'd probably just bet like $70 or something along these lines. Sometimes you get, was it 4 folds? And if you get like 1 call, then c'est la vie, just blast off, triple barrel. You should note, you can't double barrel on these boards because everybody and their aunt calls a pair and a straight draw for 2 streets and then they fold the 3rd street. You know, if you have 6, 7, 8, 7, pocket 5s, pocket 7s, 9, 7, 10, 9, 10, 8, 10, 6, you get the point. 6, 5, 8, 5, 9, 5. There's a billion combinations and they all go call flop, any size, completely inelastic. Google it if you don't know what that means. Call turn, completely inelastic, and then fold river if you go like 75%. It is one of the dream exploits. You're welcome. You just got that for free. If you don't understand it, replay it 16 times until you do.
I think that's $400. Raver calls, and I don't think
This is a fold now.
we're getting folds if we raise, so I call. The 3
Okay, Corey not contemplating what is the best option, which is fold. The problem with your naked 7-4 is that if anybody else has a 7, you're getting like anti-free rolled. You're getting free rolled, I mean. Because if they have like 6, 7, 9, 7 pocket set, like, you feel me. They have the same straight draw as you.
We're going to see a turn card, which is the 3 of spades. It gives us even more outs. We turn a flush draw. It's a really...
Oh no, you're gonna have to lead shove now. I kind of dig lead shove. It's not gonna work in this exact situation, but you can kind of represent that you've got like 10s or something along these lines and you're just trying to clear your equity. Like if you can represent something, it doesn't really matter. And you might just get like a fold from 8-7 and a fold from Jack 10 every now and again. But yeah, I don't think there's any other option.
appealing 7 high. I check. Now sashimi goes
Sorry, I've been telling people you've been improving. All right, so far, every street I've disagreed with.
all in. Raver goes all in, and I'm not folding. So
Maybe I should get Corey on a call just to rinse him on this one. All right, this is the hand over, so it goes shove, call, call. You have to call off, so I agree at least with that one. I'm going to give this hand a good 3 out of 10. I was going to go lower, but I rated some of the Rampage hands a 2 out of 10. So, I mean, this isn't like Rampage level of a pun. I get so many people DMing me being like, you're being too nice to Rampage. I'm like, no. You can't ruin a guy. And remember, everybody, he doesn't win it. Everybody here is a winner. Let's hear the post-hand analysis. I couldn't have done it as a cooler. I couldn't have avoided this.
Just dial in, stay focused, anything can happen. It's gonna be a long night.
Don't know if you dialed in there, my friend. Don't know if you dialed in.
A few minutes later, I put on the $100 straddle, and 4 players limp to me. I decide to make it.
Let's decide what size we should raise. It's a ridiculously aggressive stream. We should probably go at least 700, probably 800.
1,000. Action folds back to
Love it.
Frankie, who says,
I would put this in for 2K. But fine.
Oh, yeah, here's the speech.
I would put it in
Here's
for 2K.
the speech.
I mean, I
Get rid of it.
so we pick up a few $100 when the weirdest hand I've played in a while occurs. We're playing 10, 20, 40. This guy opens to 500. Action folds to me, and I have ace-jack offsuit.
500 with 7s is something special. That is a special sauce if ever I've seen it. I got a shadow on me. I don't like it. Now I can see my face so well with this beautiful webcam. You'll notice all the small changes. I've also bought some lights. I haven't set them up yet, though. We'll be working on the shadows.
Such a massive, massive raise. I think folding here is actually fine, but we're on the live stream.
Yeah, you can't fold in a live stream, unfortunately, but you meant to fold for sure.
Don't really think it's fine. In actuality, it's pretty tight on a televised show. So I make the call, but already not loving it. This is a huge raise. And the only thing that I've seen from this player is him check down a boat versus sashimi about 20.
Hi, David. If you want to come join one of my poker games, please reach out. I also would like you to check down a boat against me. I assume you... No, he was out of position. He didn't check down a boat. He tried to trap sashimi. That's fine. That's different than checking down a boat.
On a boat versus sashimi about 20 minutes prior. I have no information on this guy. I've never played with him before.
What is it with streams and finding attractive Asians? Every single stream, they have a quota to fill. I don't know if they're putting out on Instagram, if they're putting out things you can fill out to join, like forms that you can join, but it's kind of, at this point, it's becoming a meme.
Yeah, this just feels like ace queen, ace king, or a big pocket pair. I'm actually not loving my hand or the decision to continue with this hand, but it's just pretty tight to fold 2 Broadway cards in a live stream show. So for these reasons, we go off to a flop, which we don't connect with. I check, and this player checks it back.
Okay, hi Dave, I might have to do an episode just on you. This is some next level. See bet your hand, son.
Turn card improves us to top.
Checking on this turn card is an absolute must. If you're doing anything else, get out of here.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
Considering we called pre-flop, it's generally a lot better for his range than mine, so I proceed with another check.
This is a live tell thing, so buckle up. This is what you do in this spot. You take about 20 seconds. You literally, against a player like this, you look at your hand, look like you're going to fold, and then be like... Fine. And you just look like you've just talked yourself into calling one, because obviously if they have you beat, they have you beat. But if they're bluffing, it increases the chance they're going to bluff like 2-fold. It's 3-fold. It really is such a big thing. It obviously doesn't work against certain types of players, and I'm going to be a little bit, you know, obviously hi, David isn't a professional. Maybe it wouldn't work against a more veteran player. By the way, the sizing now rules out pocket kings. So the only hand we're worried about now is ace queen.
I think raising is out of the question. We fold out all of his bluffs or worse hands and only get called by better. So I make the call. And the river card is an offsuit 10. I check a third time. Now this player puts me all in for 2x the pot.
I kind of wish I couldn't see the cards, because now you're not going to believe me, but this feels so bluffy. Feels so bluffy, because on the flop, he's not saying he's got a strong hand. On the turn, he's not saying he's got a strong hand. And suddenly on the river, he's saying he's got a super strong hand. This is queen jack or maybe ace 10, but ace 10 really never shoves. People just find a different size to ace 10. So it can be queen jack, or it can just be a bluff. And queen jack usually bets the flop. So this feels so bluffy. It's hard to find an actual bluff given he went so big pre-flop. But it feels bluffy. I hope Corey can find the call here. Given that it's the biggest win of his life, I assume he probably does. It's definitely not easy if you're thinking about the right things, but I think you should come to that conclusion. Let's see what his thought process is. Maybe it'll match mine. By the way, if you feel like you can play against other poker players at the highest level and you feel like you want me to invest in you, no risk on your side for $5,000. I'm actually doing 10 of these $5,000 giveaways where I will be investing in you and we'll be splitting the profits. Link is in the description if you want to hear more about this. It's probably the best promotion I've ever done.
Trapping, or if he's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Over $4,000, and my goodness, this is quite the odd bet. We're obviously losing to Ace King, Ace Queen, Ace 10, Pocket 10s, King 10, Pocket Deuces, Ace Deuce, Ace 6.
All right, we're just naming hands that can beat us now, Corey. Come on, son. Hopefully the next sentence is none of them will play it like this.
I don't know. What the hell are the bluffs? Missed flush draws, random 2 cards. He's not jamming with a weaker ace than mine. He has to turn like a middling pocket pair into a bluff, but
My read here would be that the guy's 7 deuce.
goodness, I just saw this guy check down a boat. It's really challenging to be bluffing in this spot. But at the same time, wouldn't he bet ace king on the flop with a flush draw? The value doesn't really make as much sense either.
Yeah, so this is what I thought was happening. Corey actually is having a very good range analysis in this spot. The 7-4, okay, it was a difficult hand to play. This one is a lot more simple in terms of range analysis, and I thought Corey was probably just saying stuff to be entertaining for the people at home, spelling things out. But really, he is thinking on a high level than he was talking.
You'd expect a bet from 6s, deuces, king X, pocket 10s even, ace 10, especially with flush draws. I don't know. We block the straight, we block top pair, we block 2 pair. We have kind of the perfect hand to call, but it is a weird, uncomfortable spot. It's just kind of confusing. Well, I'm getting a call. And speaking of, I call. Thankfully, he has
That's a nice way to put in a blooper.
pocket 7s. Really interesting hand. We're up a few thousand. Feels great. Still very...
All right, I'll rate that hand. Pre-flop was fine because he's on a stream. Flop good, turn good, river good. Oh yeah. All right, and I think the thought process was absolutely perfect the entire way. We're going to give this hand a 10 out of 10. Congratulations, Corey. You've made up for the 7-4.
early and anything can happen. We introduce the progressive bounty. This is where things get spicy always. Raver has won 2 consecutive hands, so he's going for the 3rd button. And the rest of the table, we are trying to play defense. He raises the 500. 3 of us make the call. We go 4 ways to...
Corey, you're not squeezing the ace-2 suited when one guy is playing for the bounty and raises 500. We're not squeezing the ace. Oh, wait, it can move my stupid fat face. Gorgeous webcam and shadow on the face. Not squeezing here is a little bit criminal. Bad boy. I mean, you can probably just shove if you're worried about him doing anything. This is very likely going to be a profitable shove, but at the very least squeeze. Because this guy is just going to have like 70% of hands probably. Bad boy.
flop of Jack 4-3. I have ace deuce of hearts, so I have a gut shot. David bets $600. Frankie folds. I make the...
Folding 5s there is also kind of criminal. Frank, maybe we need to do an episode on Frankie. Have a good tough talking to.
call, and Raver does as well. The 3 of us go off to a turn, which... Bing! Hello, the greatest turn.
Yo, this is what I need in my videos. I need more funny voices. That's how Corey's so good at this.
I gotta bring the funny voices.
Oh, he's got it the straight. He has.
Opening a dire deck, thank you very much. Action checks to me. I bet 1,500.
1500's too small. It's one of these pair and straight draw boards again. Your opponents are going to be relatively inelastic with a jack and with a pair and a straight draw. So you got to size up. You got to bet like 3K here. I think that's really, really bad play, especially because Raver's getting the incentive for the extra bounties. Big markdown for this one. Your hand's pretty vulnerable to pair and straight draws.
To me, I bet 1,500. Raver calls, but David gets out of the way. The river card is an offsuit king. Raver checks, and I mean, I think we have one option.
We do not have one option here at all. So Raver very often has one of these kind of pair and straight draw hands. Very likely he would have played a jack differently, either shoving the turn or betting the turn or whatever. Betting the flop as well. So you're really just trying to get a call from a weaker 1 pair. And if he has somehow rivered 2 pair or whatever, then you're going to get raised anyway. So I think the play here is to go like something like 1,700 and hope maybe he spaz shoves as a bluff anyway, just randomly. It's his Blocker. You know, oh, I got to do funny voices. Blocker.
I can see that working for views.
Let me know if you like
Funny voices.
Maybe I overestimate the maturity of my audience a little bit. When I do coaching, I do funny voice a lot. So maybe he's going to think blocker and then just
Shove it in your face anyway, because a lot of people do that.
do. Yeah, I think 1700 is very finesse here.
Option here.
All in.
What do you say, check? I heard check.
He does have two
I almost got
markers.
there.
I bet that joke's hilarious the first 18 times you hear it.
Oh, yeah. Backdoor? Yeah.
Yeah.
We take it. Let's see a flop.
Every gambler's favorite line.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to rate that hand pretty far down. Pre-flop, turn, and river. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10 because, you know, he had a good thought process behind it. I think he just lacked quite a lot of finesse there.
Fair.
You learned to fold.
What do you need? A king.
3-bet from Corey.
So with 3-bet king jack suited, what size? 800 from 120 against the guy that's probably going to be calling any size, any hand. So I love the sizing here.
Favorite line.
Seems fair.
You learned to fold.
What do you need? A king.
3-bet from Corey. It's a nice flop. Oh, this is going to be action. They're deep. 7 to 1. SPR.
Because there's no.
Why so much? He's bet 600s because there's no king. 10 out of 10 table talk from both players.
King.
He's getting the odds on his call here. I like it a lot.
Ooh, a spicy turn. All right, so 3K in the middle. We're getting so many of these pair and straight draw hands. Should we name them again in a funny voice? He could have 7, 8. He could have pocket 8s, pocket 9s, 10, 9.
Jack on Jack 8 6 8 6 9.
There's so many of these hands again. Very, very inelastic. The question is what size to go. This is where I'd say a weaker player is probably going to get a little bit too scared and go a small size or check. So hopefully we're not going to see that from Corey. Yeah, I think the size is probably going to be like 3K, something along these lines. And if he shoves, you just cry. But he doesn't shove too often.
That's not the card he needed. Corey picks up a flush draw. Not the most
Corey Eyring. Oh no, son, oh no.
comfortable spot for him.
No king.
Not that he's going anywhere.
600.
Especially not.
Okay, all right. We got round 2 of being able to get some more value out here. Bet 600 by the sounds of it. So now we can check raise to 3,500.
This size.
Yeah, this is, I think, a bad sizing. I don't.
No. Oh, I thought he raised for a second. I was like, oh, Corey, what are you doing, son? You got a top pair second kicker and a flush draw against a guy that's telling you that he has a weaker hand. Come on. I love Corey so much. He's genuinely one of my heroes at this point for content creation, and he's so funny. So I'm gonna say some nice things before I rip into him a little bit more. But I should roll my sleeves up for this. But
Jesus Christ.
you're missing out on so much value. So much value if you're doing this stuff. I mean, I can't explain. BBs per 100. If you don't know what that is, you're really new to this channel. Jesus. Yeah, son of Zeus.
I think at this point you either check back to 10 and hope to show it down, or you really start building a pot and going very polar on the turn.
Well, David gets there.
Sure does. Welcome to Hustler Casino Live.
Oh, you can tell the difference between how his demeanor, Ohio Davis demeanor was before and after he hit that. Go study that if you didn't notice it, but it's pretty wild.
Where no hand is dead.
I think you might get this one. It's a bad run out.
Yeah, when somebody bets small on the turn like this, he's saying he's got at least some part of the board. So now when he bets the river big, it's hard to be bluffing because most of the one pairs will just check behind and try and beat ace king, ace queen. So this is the value all day, every day.
Yeah, it's an easy one to fold. He's going to have all this 8-7, 8-6, 8-10, ace-8.
I could see him value betting 2 pair here as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just, you just got to let it go.
Corey has so few 8x in his range.
I think Corey could have.
Is that Senor Tilt on the commentary? I heard a wild Senor Tilt story. I was actually not even playing. I decided to sit out, but I was witnessing JRB's private game. Yeah, heard a really not cool Senor Tilt story. If you want me to tell that, it's not probably the time and place for it, but I can tell it if you want to hear it. planning my own private game as well in Cyprus. Shout out if you want to come play in some high stakes private games later this year. Situated in Cyprus and hosted by yourself, yours truly, not yourself. Shout out. Let me know over Instagram.
Sized bigger on the flop. On the turn, I would have check raised there. It's a nice turn.
Nice. All right. The turn really marks you down. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Pre-flop, good sizing. Flop, good sizing. Turn, terrible ×2. And river, great.
Never got to the bottom of that. Yeah, another spot where I would check raise the 6-4 suited here.
What? Check raise the 6-4 suited? Senor Tilt, if you haven't seen, by the way, is the guy that said I had brain dead commentary and I made a funny response video. You are the quintessential definition of money can't buy class. I get invited to a lot of private poker games, despite being an incredibly competent player. You get invited to all of these different poker games at the highest levels, at the highest stakes, despite your personality. The guy that said I had brain dead commentary just said this is another spot that you should be check raising the 6-4 suited. I'm gonna do the maths, just 1 second.
Nope, still can only check raise out position.
And it's not even a spot you want to be raising ever. I can't think of a single hand that you want to be raising on this flop. Like literally zero. This is one of those situations where you just don't do it. Maybe the solver finds like a tiny percentage of small amount of hands that end up doing it. But this is in practice and probably in GTO, not going to be the time to do it. Now who's brain dead, son? Jesus.
Yeah, another spot where I would check raise the 6-4 suited here. I mean, at least.
This is like me watching I'm not saying these guys are masters, but like me watching chess and watching like, you know, some national masters play and being like, you know, I just really disagree with the way that they played that. I would have moved the bishop to G1. Genuinely, you can't. I'm like, freaking G1, mate. What if bishops belong on G1? I don't know what you're talking about. That's Senor Tilt in this commentary booth.
Some amount. And it's funny because it plays so well, right? You're going to get the kings to fold. Or
This is like... This is a meme of like Twitch chat pros. YouTube seems to be a lot more refined, gentlemanly these days. But it's like when you can see the other person's hands, all you want to do is like, why don't you just do the exact perfect thing against your opponent's exact hand? If you know what hand he has, then it's a lot easier to play. But given that we don't know that he has kings, it would be atrocious.
at least, you know, you're going to continue on any heart turn, any 3-5 turn, and play offense against hands like kings, queens, pocket jacks.
If you want to do 300, somehow I got down.
Even in a 3-bet pot, you're going to raise the 6-4 hand.
No choice.
Yeah. David is the best.
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Because you're deep, right? You were deep on the flop.
No, you're not deep at all. the guy's pretty short.
You're gonna have hands like
I didn't want to play it because I didn't
4 or
want to
5 suited, 5, 6
I don't need to do funny voices when I have Senor Tilt commentating. This is perfect.
suited.
I'm rooting for black.
He's gonna expect that, but you're also gonna have the pocket 6s and pocket 2s.
I don't know who's commentating this, but it makes no sense to raise with my hand, or any strong hands for that matter. I'm in position, and this board's so dry and disconnected.
Get him, Corey!
When we have sets and strong ace-x, we just want to let our opponent value own himself or hang himself. We are in position. There's no reason to raise here. Raising puts pressure on this guy's specific holding, which is easy to know when you can see all the hole cards, but we're playing against this guy's range of hands. I don't know if he has kings, ace king, king queen, whatever. There's no need to bloat a pot in position with second pair when, number one, we could just easily have the best hand, and raising folds out all of his bluffs, so it ensures that we only get called by better. Why are we turning our hand into a bluff? Makes no sense. We have worse hands to turn into a bluff, like 10-9 or 9-8, stuff of this nature, just air balls with backdoor diamond draws or straight draws, stuff like that.
Again, you're probably just floating if you have 7-8 diamonds.
And we have better hands that want to bloat a pot on later streets like 6s or 2s, ace 6, ace deuce. When our opponent keeps betting on the turn, it's very hard to continue with our specific holding. We'll have better hands, and even if our opponent is bluffing, he might be bluffing with the best hand, like pocket 7s or pocket 8s. In this particular instance, that seems to be what he's doing. I'm not sure if he's betting for value or bluffing with kings, but
Oh, come on. That's rude. That's one of the most critical and harsh things you can say to a poker player. I don't know if you were bluffing or not. That is essentially whispering, I think you're shit. No, the guy's kind of like value betting to try and get a cheap showdown. Hopefully you guys check on the river. I don't hate it on the turn with kings. I don't like it, but I don't hate it.
And, you know, you can argue that you could represent the diamond on the turn too, because you're going to have more suited, you're going to have more diamond, you know, suited type hands that he's going to have. He's going to have a lot.
I'm going to try and replay that word for word. You can make an argument to say that you can... It's a little bit more nasally than that, but I don't have that in me. You can make an argument to say that... Really, the thing I heard about Senor 2 was so egregious, I feel much more justified in ripping into this guy now. Really, you can make an argument to say that you can represent the diamonds on the turn, because you can... By the way, representing diamonds on the turn when you turn a flush draw doesn't make any sense, because you're going to have more suited hands. Nah, he said it even more egregious than that. Anyway.
Like someone like Jungle Man played me heads up. Like even with his edge, the rake makes it unbeatable. But if you played this specific guy, he can still win.
Right.
But there's all sorts of like stuff going on.
777.
A lot of talk about. I've been messaged about this a couple of times.
I agree.
Queen.
That sounds frustrating. But if you're a pro, you probably just grit your teeth and bear it.
That's right. Yeah, there's not much. I mean, this. I don't know where this guy came from or what his story is.
I have one of these. So.
It reminds me a lot. I mean, you always hear these stories. It's like it happens once a year in the high stakes world. Like, you know, I don't want to drop names here, but there was a guy, you can look this story up, who showed up to a Triton Montenegro event. Actually, yeah, I'll let you comment on the hand.
Let's see if Chief wants to do something with the turn draw this time. No, he checks back.
Check.
This is like my favorite kind of turn, and you've seen me do this a lot. I've seen you commentate on it to kind of bluff.
This hand was 10 out of 10. I don't know if you guys were like hate listening to Senor Tilt, or maybe genuinely listening to Senor Tilt's story, or if you're watching the Hamburg, it was a 10 out of 10. It was a perfect hand. Easy hand to play, but perfect hand.
$. This is just bad. In all honesty, I'm giving action to David. I'm just giving him a little bit of action. But
shout out to this. I think that if you're going to be giving action in a YouTube stream, this is the way to do it. First of all, it is nice to give action back to people. Second of all, people remember that you played the 10-5. Instead of doing the kind of like Brad Owen thing of like loosening your range by 10%, I think it's much better to play like good poker and then every now and again just have like a 7 deuce, because people remember it. It gets clipped. Like it makes the other guy feel good if he stacks you and stuff like that. If you're just playing a little bit looser to give action, I don't think it's really making too much of a difference.
things go south when Raver cold calls. David calls as well. So the three of us go off to a flop. Big old nothing burger. However, when action checks to me, I think we can get away with a cheap bluff. I think these guys are
You should bet something like 300 here.
going to whiff quite often on this texture as well.
If I'm Corey here, I'm definitely going for this. Yeah.
If the other 7
It's like you got 10 high, dude.
like, oh, 7 high.
Start bluffing.
Yeah, of course the guy that can see the cards and plays exactly perfectly against the other people's cards would bluff when the other two miss.
Mr. Commentator and I, we have found common ground. We have 10 high, let's bet. It's not the reason
Does Corey really not know who that is?
we're betting, but whatever.
Might actually work.
Well, you're going to hear from someone real fast if they have a spade. Yeah, easy.
It doesn't make any sense. How can you call me brain dead when you don't know the first thing? I'm going to roll up my sleeve for this one. Senor Till, how can you call my commentary brain dead when you don't know the first thing about poker? It's not that we're on just like, I'm here and you're here. It's like, I'm here. I'm a professional poker player. You are below most of the people in the Twitch chat. For real. What do you mean you'd hear from somebody when they have a spade? What is that? What could that possibly mean? Which spade? How would you hear it? Did they call? Would they raise? Some spades would just fold in the fight. It depends which spade they... Oh my goodness.
We win 2 hands in a row and set ourselves up to win the progressive bounty game. If you win 3 hands in a row, you get $300 from every player. 4 hands, $400. 5 hands, $500. It's a sick incentive to win hands consecutively, and we have put...
Oh yeah, that makes it pretty big actually. 300 per player. Let's say it's 8-handed. So 300 times 7, 2100 on a 20-40 game is a lot.
Put ourselves in a position to do just that. So this next shuffle, it's very important that we win as I pick up 8-5 off.
Interesting enough, I haven't played this before, but it would make your big blind, small blind, and button very valuable because you're much more likely to win hands there. So if you like get the under the gun win, like if you win a hand from under the gun, suddenly you have like a really good shot at being able to win it.
Suit.
If you get more buttons.
Yeah, if you get the 3 buttons, it pays 200, and then 5 buttons pays 400.
Oh, it also makes short stacking like extremely valuable if you just do a bunch of shoving.
A button or 300
That's interesting. We've never done that.
Oh boy.
So, okay, let me explain what he's saying. Wait, what's going on?
He made it 5. I called.
It's on Jose. Josue.
Who don't have the
Button.
Come on.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jose, what are you doing? I feel like there's some reason he's there that, man, somebody let me know. If he's just a normal player, that's terrible. But I feel like he like won a thing. Somebody tell me.
Shove all in there, Jose.
Yeah.
I think Raver may have a point there.
Call.
Otherwise, you get 1 button and there's no reason to try anymore.
You want me to join?
Do I want you to join?
No.
I would never want to see you
Jose
not in
stacks
the
just
pot.
$600.
Yeah, if he's already got 2 buttons and he can win 2100, probably a good call unless the table's very squeeze happy with 8-5 offsuit.
No more.
You know, I remember when I was 21 and I was so broke, and I can't even imagine, and I was terrible at poker. I can't even imagine.
It's strange that using the past tense there. I was terrible at poker, he says. That's interesting use of the past tense.
Imagine what sitting at a table like this would feel like with guys with $10,000-$20,000 in front of them.
Ooh, Corey Eyring. Here, you probably have to use the button thing to your advantage and bet something like 2.5K.
Not to mention with the fact that it's on camera.
On camera, yeah, all your friends are watching.
Yeah.
I really don't like the sizing because there's an extra 2,100 in the middle for you. So there's 4,200 in the middle. You're betting 1,000, giving it a chance for somebody to outdraw you. Like if somebody just has 9, 10, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7, not 9, 7 dimes, it's just like 9, 7 offsuit. You're just giving him such good odds to try and outdraw you, or just like a normal flush draw. And there could be 2 people with that, and you're just giving them an insanely good price.
Mention with the fact that it's on camera.
On camera, yeah, all your friends are watching.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
It's not easy.
3,000.
And I actually, you know, like he obviously doesn't.
That was a very zesty 3,000. I like it.
There's a lot of stuff in the game that he clearly doesn't understand yet, but I just like I like that he's waiting for a spot and going for it. I think it's totally fine.
It's not the best strategy, but it's far from the worst.
Yo, who is Senor Tilt saying that somebody doesn't understand a lot of spots in the game? Who is he talking about? I need to know. Knowing him, it's probably Phil Ivey or something.
So these 2 hands are on a collision course. Monster draw for Raver.
All in.
Corey moves all in with bottom pair, or bottom 2, excuse me.
When you don't get snapped here, you're up against a jack so often. Like so often. If he's not snap fold or snap called, he's got just like queen jack really often. Obviously, it's just a guy that doesn't know mathematics, but shout out to the tank with the straight flush draw.
Spot. Danger.
It's such a good spot if you're Corey, because now you got. He's, you know, Raver's wondering, am I up against a better flush draw?
Yeah, if you're against ace-5 of diamonds or something here, it's
yeah, you're
kind of a disaster.
Dead. Right.
You're definitely not stone dead, Senor. Maybe we should rate Senor Tilt's commentary at the same time. This is a 2 out of 10 commentary. Standard is as standard does. You're not stone dead if you have 9-7 of diamonds against ace-5 of diamonds. Stone dead means you have 0%.
All right.
There's the call. $29,000.
Oh, that's good.
What are we trading?
Running it once.
They're doing it once. Jesus.
As always,
I have 4.
is no help for Raver.
I wish they let you peel the river Baccarat style here. Oof, clean run out.
You win.
Corey, Eyring wins a huge one.
All right, the 8-5 offsuit. Good call pre-flop, probably. Bad sizing on the flop, and everything else fine. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Not bad, not bad.
It's me, you definitely would have won.
What's the penalty? 300?
300.
3, 4, 5?
Senor Tilt make it about himself. Very nice.
Yeah, so Corey's going to win the bounty game as well. So now he's up 25 grand all of a sudden.
Wait, that's everything? Wait, what about that? That too?
Three offsuit so lame. All right, so it's 2,800 out there. You got it. You got a call. Maybe squeeze, but probably squeeze actually. Probably squeeze.
Does he know how to? Does he know what to do with them though?
Nice.
Wow. This is a pretty easy one, which he gets right.
There we go.
Corey's
There
got
we
3
go.
markers, so he's chasing bounty glory here.
Praying for ace king because it's the tight guy.
And it creates a great spot for Senor Tilt's man, Jose.
This is a big sweat for you. A sweat for me.
Good.
Oh my.
Hit a deuce now, as well as a 6.
See a picture. See a picture. Picture.
Oh, it's coming, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
You see the energy. Corey's like, yeah. The other guy's like, that's manifestation in reality, my friends.
Oh my goodness.
Chill, you just took Jose's last bullet.
Well, Senor C
No, come
is
on.
just as unlucky in HCL as Senor. Wow. I am glad that this is on televised poker. Ryan Feldman, we will be having words after this.
Oh, they gave him some chips to play with. That's cool.
That is unbelievable.
We're going for the 5th bounty. Got it.
Straddle.
For those of you who don't know what's going on here, Jose is a 21-year-old from Modesto, California. Parents are immigrants from Mexico. He's a computer science major at Berkeley, first kid in his family to go to college. Really good dude. By the way, we bought in Tuck as well, just for fun, and these guys have not been running good. I just want to call, Charlie, I just want to call attention to something.
No, when you're right, you're right. Well, Jose no longer has that $5,000.
Yeah, I don't know about the 2,500 bet. How much in the middle now? Let's say it's 3,500. I don't think this is okay. Maybe that's small. Fold to a shove. But your hand could just be probably just a check on the flop.
From Senor Tilt, but he is going to get some more chips from Ohio David and from Prince Shove, which is awesome.
You know?
So he's still in the
You
game,
did. You earned this one.
Yeah.
despite that rather ridiculous one.
Yeah, that's good.
Corey going for the 9-deuce offsuit now. All right. And some chirping chips.
It's Chief sipping on over there.
I wish Sashimi had that hand.
Lucky.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, the fact
All right. Let's try and not lose everything.
this check through
5-10.
work out very nicely
I meant to bet 6.
for Prince Shove.
Not a bad bet from Chief.
600.
Shove should probably just call here.
This is such a nice spot to raise.
Corey should probably raise. Probably, maybe. It's close between call and raise here. Can't hate either.
Here,
I
you're just
agree.
missing an opportunity. You're going to get called by a 5. You're going to get called by a 2. You have the ace of diamonds, which is the bluff card that would be used in this spot. It's just...
Well, we agree on that one, but this Shove might end up making more money by just calling in this particular spot.
Corey's never folding.
Actually, not the worst commentary from Senor Tilt. Could be worse. I'll rate this one a 6 out of 10.
I actually think Chief might even call here. Chief's got a draw to the full house. He's open-ended. I mean, we can see the cards, but you just couldn't. I mean, you could even.
What the hell? This is a new Senor Tilt. Suddenly out of nowhere, he's been rebirthed and reborn. He's making some sense.
I mean, anything but fold's the right option.
Okay, I spoke too soon.
You've got to think Shove's capped, because he just calls.
Yeah.
That's an incredible fold that I'm not capable of making.
Okay, yeah. We're back down to the... we're wallowing with the lowly pigs at the moment. Not that pigs are lowly, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I could fold to Corey there, to be honest.
I know nothing about.
I can tell from his tone. He's had a little bit. He's had enough, I think, of Senor Tilt. So here's what we're putting our opponent on. This is how you do poker, ladies and gentlemen. You have to ask yourself 2 questions. What is your opponent's range? I'm going to keep saying it until it's like I get so many people messaging me now being like, thank God you've said this so many times because now when I'm playing poker, I actually think about the hand. So I'm going to keep saying it. You have to ask yourself, what is your opponent's range and what are you going to do about it? That's it. That's poker. So you have to ask yourself, what is Prince Shove's range here? Well, he's going to have a bunch of 5x, 5-4, ace-5, hands like that. He can have some slow played hands. Like, it's rare, but he can have some boats. More likely a boat than a straight, because straights are more likely to raise because they don't have the board as locked up. And then there's going to be some like king X of diamonds, so like king queen of diamonds, king jack of diamonds, hands like that as well. And so really we just have to think, what are we going to try and get called by? I think you probably just go something like 2/3 and just hope that you get heroed by a 5, because he's got a 5 much more often than he's got a king. So hopes that he puts you on a bluff, something along those lines. Depends on the player. It's an intuition spot. And then when he raises, you obviously get out there.
Certainly capable of making moves. But my default would be to assume that when he raises, it means something.
Corey's trying to figure out sizing here. I would be going pot minimum here.
He's going to go more like half, a little bit more.
I don't like it. I guess
I don't like it.
you're giving yourself a chance to fold here if he jams on you. Let's.
Oh, he does get shoved on. Damn, lucky Corey, man. Lucky Corey. I like the hand from Corey all around. I don't know what happened pre-flop. I guess he just called out the straddle. Turn sizing, I think, was very good. I think very instructive, actually. Turn sizing, not going too big, making sure he still calls all of his like 5x and hands like that. And then river sizing, I also really liked. I guess I'll give this hand like an 8.5 out of 10. It could be 10 out of 10. It's just hard to know what happened pre-flop, whether it was justified or whether he's doing it for the stream. You know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's give Corey a 10 out of 10 for this hand.
Call.
Oh my god. Yikes.
No.
Oh, and then not reacting when you see the ace-4. That is some high-level stuff. Look at that.
Let's.
Call.
Oh my god. Yikes.
No.
Yeah, the single blink, no facial reaction. What a pro. Not making the other guy feel weird or bad about it.
Nice flop. Yeah. Holy shit.
Wow.
What the Oh my god.
I like this Prince Shove guy. He's dressing like Aladdin, one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. I can show you the world. Just keep watching. Okay, we've got set of queens over pair on the bottom board, which actually is pretty relevant if you're playing like, you know, if somebody has a set of 10s with a 9 or something. And if somebody has like Jack 5, then it's also pretty relevant. You have outs against it. So pretty nutted hand. Potting makes some sense. Calls with king, queen of spades, 9-7. This is not a call. Just so you guys know, that is a fold.
Nice draw on the bottom.
All right, so let's think about this. You have to think pretty carefully. So you lose to king jack, which can definitely be in there. You lose to pocket aces, which probably isn't in there unless it has, well, I guess it does have spades pretty often anyway. So you lose to aces with spades, and you still beat a lot of stuff. I'm gonna say you're probably meant to shove here. I think shove is the answer, because I don't think you can fold if he shoves. So I think shove just to get him off some draws is the right answer. Close, but I'm pretty sure it's a shove.
Mad Dog with less than pot behind.
Can't fault him for checking. It's just such a scary turn. It sucks. It's like close to being a fold.
Probably just wants to see a river. No? Okay, he's going to jam.
Yeah, now you kind of have to call off. If he folds this, I'm not going to hate it. If he calls, I think it's correct.
I think that's just all in, basically.
42.
Yeah, you have to call. You have to call. This is why you shove in the first place. You should also never have to tank here, because if you've checked the turn, it means that you're going to be folding the turn, because shove's better than check calling.
Wow. He gets Corey to fold.
Yeah, all right. It's a pillow hand. Not gonna rinse him too bad. I think it's bad. Okay, so we've raised king 4. We have a button here. Don't know what this 1 means. Somebody let me know. We've hit very powerful boards. Gonna have to continuation bet. Probably like, here's what you do. You just ask yourself, what would a queen call? And then bet that, essentially. Because ace jack, ace 10 with the backdoor flush will probably call anyway. A queen will call, a king will call, and then just size up on turns. So I'll probably go something like 1100.
Not much for his opponents. Frankie actually calls with some backdoors, but the turn does not open any of those. Corey bets 2/3.
Oh, we got the 7 deuce game. Definitely 4-bet. 100% 4-bet. If you fold it, I don't care what's plus EV. If you fold 7 deuce while the 7 deuce game is on,
Do me a favor, please.
get out of my stream. $100 for each player. Oh, it's not that much. It's really not that much. It's probably close to being a fold. Oh no. The game's playing so big for a 2040. I think they should have a larger bounty for 7 deuce.
$7,000 in the pot, or near it.
Pretty good flop when you got 7 deuce. You can't ask for much better.
Both players miss. And Corey has an opportunity here. About a quarter pot.
Yeah, so you have to be putting Frankie on a range. He's going to have a bunch of ace highs. He's going to have a bunch of pairs. He's going to have some like queen jack suited, 7-8 suited, hands like that. This is a spot where you have to find a way to either double or triple barrel. Corey's going to size that he's telling us, the viewers at home, that he is definitely going to be double barreling at least. Or maybe checking back down and betting river. But something, because if you're going for a one and done, you'd go bigger.
Frankie isn't folding yet. $10,000 now. And Corey actually picks up some X.
All right, just thinking about this. Our opponent's range is going to be a bunch of pairs. So like 7s, 8s. People love squeezing these hands. Maybe Frankie doesn't. Don't know how he plays. He's going to have some 10x. He's going to have some just like king, queen of hearts, king, queen of spades. Hands like that, queen, jack of spades. Probably pure ace, king, ace, queen, given how deep they are. So like 32 combos of ace, king, and ace, queen. It's a purely Badoogie rainbow board. So I don't have to worry about flush draws. I can see arguments for a few things. I can see an argument for tripling off here. I can see an argument for checking and playing pretty spicy on rivers. And I could see an argument for double barreling and giving up the river. Let's see what Corey does, then I'll think about it more. That's what you need to be doing when you're playing poker. You can't just be like, it's obviously this because the solver says this. Sorry, I got to do more funny voices. It's obviously this because the solver says that. Genuinely is what GTO players sound like. It's not solved. You're playing against another human being. Nobody knows what the correct answer is. So you have to consider like option A, option B, option C, option D, or depending on how many good options you can think of in that moment. And then compare and contrast. So you got multiple hypotheses and you come up with a conclusion. That's how poker works. Should be working.
And I don't think you can really get to this point in the hand with 7 high and not... Well, he's...
I like it. I like it. I'll tell you why I like this. Because this is the antithesis to Rampage. Rampage, if you saw my last episode, he is the physical embodiment of caveman poker. He sees hand, he bets hand. And this is like the obvious spot to just double barrel and just bet like 6K without really thinking. The fact that he checked, I don't know if it's best, but it shows that he's really thinking about the hand. And he's obviously conjuring up some plans on the turn. Corey's not the kind of player who's going to pussy out just because it's a big pot and not go for it. This is the dream spot to double barrel, and he knows it. But he's actually going for a creative way to try and win the hand. Please don't make me eat my words, Corey, and just fold the river if Frankie... I guess Frankie isn't going to bet. But please don't make me eat my words and just give up.
Check it back. And it'll be interesting to see if he's going to bluff this.
Oh, the 10 sucks. 10's one of the worst cards you can find. It does mean that Frankie's going to turn his hand relatively face up because if he has something like 7s, 8s, 9s, he's probably going to block bet. If he has a 10, he's probably going to bet pretty big to try and get calls from ace king. Both of them. And then if he checks, he's almost always just got ace high or probably just ace high. I think king high bluff. So yeah, just ace high if he checks.
He could maybe...
It's much more interesting to think what would happen if Frankie were to bet like a block size and if you can get away with shoving.
This is the plan.
Okay, so now we need to be thinking what size. So Frankie really, in my opinion, only has ace high here when he does this. Maybe every now and again has some like small pair, like 6, 7. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. But I think it's almost always ace high. Let's see what Corey does.
There's just that little bit of propensity for some kind of weirdness at the end of the stream, especially with the 7 deuce game on.
Oh, damn. I was thinking maybe go small. Oh, this is sexy. Corey Eyring. This is a new Corey because this takes some balls to play. I know it seems like it would take more balls to go big, but actually to give somebody a fantastic price when you have 7 high in a huge pot, it takes a lot of cojones to play it. A lot of minerals, as they say in England. And it makes some sense because what are you representing here? You're representing something like a 6, maybe something like pocket 9s if that decides to 4-bet pre, pocket 8s if that decides to 4-bet pre. I don't know. Some people Rampage does this. It's probably 6-bet 9s pre. Or sure. Maybe he has like ace-5 or something along these lines as well. That's going for some really thin, juicy value, which would make a lot of sense if you put your opponent on ace-high. And that is like majority of your betting range here. Like you can obviously have some 10x. You can have some like, you know, 10-9, 10-8 that decide to 4-bet pre, or you can maybe have something like jacks that decide to check back the turn as well. But a lot of your hands, they're really these kind of like weaker holdings that would actually want to go this side. And it looks so valuey. Actually, there's a guy called Philip Suki who used to play, I don't know if he still does, he used to play in the Victoria Casino. And I watched him do this once where he just like bluffed a quarter pot all the time. And I'd watch it and be like, Suki, can you really get away with this? He was like, don't tell anyone. But yeah, I feel like it's long. If this was long ago enough that this is probably fine to say. Sorry, Philip Suki, if I'm like blasting your joint wide open right now. But I started using it. It's just so good. Until you run again into like GTO players like Doug Polk, where it's like, oh, good pot odds, so cool, because I'm at this part of my range, then you just get obliterated. But when you're playing against these types of thinking like exploit players, they're kind of like half GTO, half exploit, or they want to be GTO, but they're still, people just see this and they see it as a value bet. So you can really get away with a lot of very cheap bluffs. And here's a secret about poker, which I hate to give away because it's so valuable. So much of poker, when you're playing at low stakes, or if you're playing in private games at the highest stakes in the world, is about finding ways, creative ways to play big pots with big hands and small pots with small hands. And that includes the bluffs. The small pots with bluffs, if you find a creative way to bluff and not lose 300 big blinds by tripling it off, and you check back flop, check back turn, and bet river small, and then you play really big pots with the big hands and don't balance at all. In these private games, I've seen somebody go from a big loser to like a big winner, like 3 sessions into my coaching, just from learning how to implement this intelligently. By the way, if you're looking to get coached in private games, I don't have too much room for new students, but I do coach high stakes private games.
Small bet from Corey, and I think facing this small sizing, we're going to see a call from Frankie.
Social security. You asked for that the first time I
Don't know about that commentator. I would bet he folds.
Yeah.
Even though this does look like a value line. Wow.
Pay up.
Frankie folds.
You never expect to see the 7 deuce there. You expect to maybe see like the king queen of spades. You never expect to see the 7 deuce there because it checked the turn. God, it's a sexy hand. I'm going to give this hand a 10 out of 10. You have to go pre-flop because it's a stream game. Doesn't matter what the bounty is. It could be a $1 bounty. You still have to play it. Flop sizing good. Turn check, I think, very sexy. River bet, I think, yeah, extremely good. This made up for a lot of the past plays. I know it doesn't look that extreme and extraordinary, but I'm telling you, the fact that he played that hand like that, he's thinking on a higher level than he used to, and he's a lot more brave about these hands than he used to. I think that was the last one as well. So he ended up, I guess he was in for 5K? 30K in the black. Don't know why we call it the black. So how good is he really? And let me also clarify, a lot of people have been saying that he's faking his videos. He's not. He really is not. Maybe he, exaggerates some things here and there just for content and to make it a better story. But really, when he's saying he's putting his net worth on the line, he's putting his net worth on the line. But he's an intelligent guy. I've spoken to him about his life, and I've just like checked in with him every now and again. I've just been like, hey, you have like a backup plan if your roulette spin goes badly and stuff like that. He's a little bit of a messy person when it comes to some things, but he really does have a good head on his shoulders. And also he's just a very decent guy, like a very, very good and honest person. So I'm literally always rooting for him to win. I love his content. I think it's fantastic. And it looks like he's getting significantly better at poker. Still not the best, he's still got a long way to go, as this video did show. But really, you can tell he's been studying. You can tell he's just been thinking about the game more methodically instead of just kind of blasting off, being one of these like new age punty people like Rampage. Those types of people that could be very like punty and like, oh, lost all my money again, ha 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 ha, but they're just crushing in revenue and sponsorships and stuff like that. It looks like Corey's not going down that route, and I really, really appreciate that. He's going to get invited to games anyway because of his audience. He doesn't need to just blast off everything all the time. So shout out to Corey. He's going to be placed here now. I would like to see him over time gradually improve. Maybe I'll come back to him in about a year's time. Beautiful people. Let me know who you want to see next. Check out the sponsorship for 50K that I'm putting into my community. If you think that you can beat these types of people and you want to be staked for $5,000, go check out the link in the description. It's risk-free on your end, and I'm putting in the money. All right, all the best, beautiful people. Peace.